Very good choice, everybody. I am excited for this one. When he saw his son playing MSM, Christian Bush instantly fell in love with the game. A couple deals and a remix of his song Lover Money later, and we have Shugabush Island, a love letter from one musician to another. This is one of the most enigmatic and untouched islands in MSM, so people kind of forget about it. But until recently, it seems. Let's take a look into it and see if it holds up with modern MSM songs. Short answer, yes. In fact, it's so much of a yes that there is literally no bad monsters on the island. I wish I was joking, but it's true. For the sake of criticism, I'll at least say that the three quote-unquote worst monsters are Pom Pom, Furcorn, and Deej. I use the word worst very lightly though, because these monsters are still good, they just don't do as much as everything else. Because there aren't any really bad monsters on the island, we're going to be extending it to a top 5 instead of a top 3 for the best monsters, just because we want to talk about more of them. 5th best on our extended list is Shugabass, the backbone of this entire song. If this song were a sandwich, Shugabass would be the butter that holds it all together. It's on the level of Thwack when it comes to bass monsters being amazing, adding so much to the song while technically doing so little. Basses are one of the most underrated instruments, and they're very hard to write for because you have to make them interesting while also not drawing too much attention to them. And Shugabass does that perfectly. It plays a soft counter melody in the verses to pair with the others, and for the chorus, because we have enough bass coming through with Shugarock, it switches over to chords to make the song sound much more full. It's so subtle, but once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. 4th place is my favorite of the Shugas, Shugabuzz. Its first track isn't really anything special. In fact, it's so not special that your chances of actually hearing it in the song are slim to none. That second track, however, well, it's straight up one of the best tracks in MSM history. It is such a perfect tone setter, a perfect counter melody line, a perfect electric guitar track. It is just a perfect track in every conceivable way. It makes the second verse feel completely different from the first one. While the first one is peaceful and subtle, the second one is hyper and uplifting, and that's all thanks to Shugabuzz. 3rd place is, surprisingly enough, yet another Shuga, this time being Vox. I don't know if it was Christian Bush's idea to make this monster scat or if it was BBB's, but either way it is an inspired choice and I adore it. Being the main melody that you focus on means the pressure is on big time for this monster, and it delivers your package, and it's a courtesy, it pays for it as well. Then you open up that package to find an extra $50 in there as a gift, and you realize that this monster is absolutely amazing. Granted, it didn't need to do a lot of work since the melody was already written, but the way it scats is so unique that replicating it is darn near impossible. Not only that, but it blows a raspberry in its track. It literally blows a raspberry and still manages to be top tier. If that isn't a testament to quality, I don't know what is. You probably noticed a common theme with these placings, and no, it's not stopping because second best is Shugabeats. If it had only the opening track and nothing else, it probably still managed to squeeze its way into top 5, but then you got those other 2 tracks and bam, second. Like Shugavox, this monster has a lot hanging on its shoulders since it's one of 2 percussions, 3 if you count Shugatar. And yeah, Shugavox put that $50 in the package, but Shugabeats hand-delivered it to you, and screw it, while it's there it might as well balance your checkbook and do your taxes. I love drums, I think they're super vital to songs, and I tend to focus on their quality above all else. Shugabeats is so good that it pretty much defines quality. Not much else really needs to be said, it's a perfect drum kit monster. It's expected and kinda boring, but first place is yet another Shuga, and this time it's rock. Starting from the beginning, Shugarock uses what's known as a guitar pedal. Just in case people don't know, guitar pedals are little things you step on that change the way the guitar sounds when you play it. This specific pedal is known as a wah pedal, giving Shugarock's opening track that distinct wah sound. That opening track is so absolutely amazing at setting the tone for the island that it alone raises Shugarock so high, and then it just goes on and does almost everything in the main chorus. Everything this monster does just makes Shugabush Island as great as it is. It couldn't be placed anywhere else but first. For honorable mentions, just for the sake of leaving no stone unturned, I'm going to rapid fire everything else on the island besides the bottom three. Shugajoe is the perfect outro monster, and its spot on the chorus is also pretty good. Potbelly is a perfect counter melody and a good addition to differentiate from the original song. Mammoth is another great addition to the remix, and it's Mammoth, so duh, it's good. Octopus is the perfect secondary melody for the verses, and it finally gets a chance to shine in a main game. Quibble's track is angelic and the perfect accent to the feel of the song. Shugabush does Shugabush things, and Shocker, it's great. Shugatar does percussive slapping on its guitar, and that's all I need to say on how good it is. Shugabush Island is good. Really good. So good that it reinvents good. Beyond that, Love and Money is also a good song, so do yourself a favor and listen to that as well if you haven't. I consider it kind of a blessing that they can't add to this song since it's perfect as it is and any additions to it would just turn out ugly. I know it. Next episode I'm hankering to do more Dawn of Fire Outer Islands, but I know y'all probably want me to do Bones, so I don't know, I'll let you decide. That's all for this episode. I'll see you all in the next one. So here's the thing about Shugabush Island. It's kind of not fair to put it with everything else. Everything else is made by this whole studio. It's got all the animation departments, the musicians, the singers, and all of them are of varying qualities. Shugabush Island, it was composed by like one person, and it was based on a song that was already a hit. And I don't even really like the genre that the song's in so much, but it's still a good song. However, it is so like hard to place it that I'm actually going to do this because I feel like it's the only way to have everything be fair and accurate. That is probably not what people were expecting, but it's true. Compared to every other island in the game, Shugabush has a major unfair advantage, and it's not fair, it's not how it should be, but it's true, and this is where it goes. I'm not joking.